going on, everybody? Welcome back to another John's Junk. I thought I had some weather coming in, so I was going to go ahead and move up a project I was saving for. Where'd the light go? There's the light. I was saving up this project to work on over the 4-day weekend for Thanksgiving, but I've had this. Ooh, it's still hot. Yikes. I've had this steel sitting out that I picked up Friday on my way home from work, and I didn't want to leave it out in the weather, so I went ahead and chopped a chunk out. It's roughly 31 inches by 72 inches ish. I messed up on one of the cuts. Didn't set up the camera because it was just me grinding for about an hour and 20 minutes. This is a 16th inch plate, and I used up 4 of these guys. I get a little bit of life lift out of them, but my grinder head's too big for that, so those are junk. Anyway, it's boring watching me cut that out. It's just me throwing sparks and making my whole arm go numb. The reason I wanted to cut it up now is because a 4x8 sheet of 16th is too heavy for me to move on my own. A 3 foot by 6 foot piece is too heavy for me to move on my own. But I got a friend. He dances at the club on Thursday nights, and his stage name is Dolly, so I'm gonna go get him. I probably could have carried that piece where I needed to carry it by myself. I just didn't feel like dealing with it. So I'm not gonna. Dolly's gonna carry it for me. I overestimated myself. I don't think I could have carried that more than a couple feet. Thank goodness that dancer took time on a Saturday to make time for me. And I should have brought you with me to show you what gymnasticals I had to do to make that happen. That was actually really easy. Picking this thing up. I was building a table a long time ago, and those are just the legs. I never used them before. If you watch any of my other videos, that was what comprised the work table when I cut the chunk of refrigerator out to make the fire lighter. And I turned them catty corner, so now they're a little bit more stable. But pretty much I turned one of them so it was facing this way, and I leaned into it and just levered it up on that, and then the whole assembly just pivoted and plunk right there where it sat. So 3/16 plate weighs, I think, 30 pounds per square foot. No, that's way too much. I don't know how much it weighs per square foot. It weighs a lot per square foot. That 3 foot by 6 foot piece, that was heavy, but it's up here. I can get a tarp on it, and this is gonna have me revise my design, if you want to call it. I was just gonna take this this angle and weld it on, grind it, and basically just make it look like this thing has some a lot more beef to it than it did. It's gonna make it look like an inch thick piece of solid steel, but I'm still gonna do that. Then I was just gonna put legs on it and weld them here, 4 legs with bracing across, and be done with it. It's gonna weld it up here as it sits, flip it over on its feet, dismantle that, and push that into its place. Maneuvering this thing has got me thinking that I need to make the base removable. So probably what I'm going to wind up doing, and I'll show you as I go, so maybe you get the idea, is I'm going to take these guys here, I'm going to cut them down, and I'm going to make sleeves on the 4 corners. So the top is, so the whole thing will be disassemblable. Is that a word? Disassemblable? Take partable. It's going to be take it apartable. It's going to be portable. It won't be portable. It's going to be, I'm going to make it so I can take it apart and move it in 2 pieces. Because once I get it welded together, it's going to be way too heavy for me to move by myself. So yeah, now it can sit here. I can put a tarp on it, move some other stuff around. I think I need to make one more cut, and I don't want to, but I'm going to make one more cut, move all the metal. I'm going to put a tarp over this, keep it safe from the rain, so it doesn't oxidize more than it already is. And this thing can wait a couple days till Thanksgiving break, and I have something to do then, instead of spending 4 days twiddling my thumbs like I normally do, just enjoying the fact that I don't have to see, hear, or speak to another single human being. It's fantastic. Anyway, I'll be back. It's another day. I went ahead and threw my first piece of angle down. As you can see, it looks like I got some big birds flying around here, and they just poo-pooed all over my weld. And I already knocked the slag off with the flappy disc. Couple lessons. I clamped it here and here, lined it up, but the heat moved that out a tiny bit. Not a huge deal. Lesson learned, attack it in the middle first to seat that. Make sure that doesn't move, and then go to the edges, either edge. Not too bad. My electrodes are too small as well, but that's what I got. And I'm not going to the store Friday after Thanksgiving. You out of your mind. I fill that weld in. Not going to make you watch because it's terrible. And lay the other side down. And all right, I got this piece cut, and pretty much I laid the whole piece kind of across there and scratched it with a screwdriver and zipped it off with that. Made pieces like that. Not very precise. I don't know if I can fill that in or not. Not a big deal, but meh. It's gonna be good enough for who it's for. I'm gonna tag that in, and then I'm gonna do bright light. I'm gonna tag that in, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side, and that'll be this piece made. There's some warpage going on. I put a lot of heat in that metal. I guess I put too much heat in the metal. It'll settle in or it won't. Let's get to and carry on. Top is more or less where I want it. I've got the material I'm going to be using as my legs. I've took my measuring stick, by which I mean a broom handle, and I took a reference line off of that right there off my old table. It's roughly how high I want the new surface. Taking that, and I've actually used a square and scribed it there, and did a very good job. But I'm gonna buck this sucker off and use that as a template to make another one, so they'll all be the same. Should be able to get 3 legs out of this one stick. I bought too many sticks. Better to have too many sticks than not enough sticks though, right? Oh well. You don't need to see me cut this. Bought some of these things. Are there instructions on how to open the thing? My knife's inside and I don't feel like going and getting it. don't show any welding. You don't show any welding. It's because I suck at it. All right, she's got 4 legs, and the welds are ugly. But they ain't going anywhere. I like to put a cross brace in. Don't know if I will though. I may just leave it. I think it's probably time to flip this sucker over. Got it up on all 4 feet. Had a little drama with my makeshift table. No worries. It looks off-centered. That is okay. I stood upon that. It didn't go anywhere. So next order of business, I need to finish that up. I haven't chipped that or knocked the slag off, but I need to go all the way around, and then I need to come back with a grinder and finish it. But this is roughly what it's going to look like when it's done. I've got a couple plans to build some stuff onto it and make it more useful, but this is probably going to be the most skookumist of the skookum grilling tables. This isn't a welding table. This is a table just for grilling. Yeah, I'm not done yet. I'll bring it back, show you what all I've got to do and what all I get done. I don't know if I'm going to get any more done tonight. It's starting to get cold, and by cold I mean like 55-ish. The sun goes down. I don't like to make a ton of noise, but it's kind of sort of still up. I can kind of sort of see, so I'm going to zip some stuff off and carry on. Round hole to fit this. Dusty. Let me fire this sucker up just for a laugh. And I need it to be about right there. I don't want it to rest on that because this is going to get hot, which is going to make my plate hot, which is going to melt that. Now, probably could just take that off. Looks like it just snaps off, but I may want to have it set a little higher. This thing isn't spherical, it's a kettle. I need to do some measuring. Fall down, go boom. Measured. Now I need a radius. Easy peasy. Radii-eyed. That was dumb. No measuring, no fuss. By measuring, I mean actual measuring. Get off. Cut towards your guts, not towards your nuts. Template. That's gonna set right there. That's not where I want it. However, it's probably the best place for it. Doobie-doobie-doo. Alright, now to transfer that to my table. I kind of, sort of, but not really welded myself into a corner here. But I can get out of it. That should be fine right there. I'll just blast a hole that's a little bit bigger than this. These fat markers are awesome. And they're like long distance phone calls. Free when you get them from work. Now I'm switching tools. Gonna use that bad boy. Now I'm gonna try to do what they say can't be done, or is at the very least ill-advised. Just cut a round hole in metal this thick with a cutoff wheel. Need my ears. So I'm sitting here editing this, all this grinding and this cutting, and it's really pretty boring, but yeah, it's just blowing sparks everywhere. But I figured this out, or I thought about it a lot, and I asked a lot of people that work with metal a lot of questions, and pretty much it's like, yeah, get a torch. Now that I've got it marked out, I can dig in. Get a plasma cutter. Just don't do that, because it's going to bind, it's going to tear up. And it's like, yeah, but my thought is, and I'm going to explain it in the video, but did a lot of research on the interwebs, and a lot of guys cut it into a pie. I'm going to go with some gloves, and then cut squared off pie slices out of it. That's how they made the circle, and it's like, that's a lot of extra cutting. I'm going to go ahead and change the blade, because I want to keep a nice big blade until I get deeper through. My thought on that is the bigger blade is going to dig its own kerf, and make it wider, and then when I get closer to through, the smaller blade is going to fit better in that kerf, and I'm going to be less likely to shatter a disc, because I don't want to shatter a disc. Never shattered a disc. I don't want to start. That's a hole. That took right around 40 minutes-ish, 37.30. It's a pain in the butt. You don't need fancy tools to blow big holes in steel. Didn't even break a single blade. Woohoo! Happy, happy, happy. Now I gotta clean that hole up. Hope I don't break one of them. I didn't do it. I gotta tell you guys something. That right there is my bathroom window. And I leave the blind up because I like having a pee and looking out at nature. And frankly, I forgot that I'd hung that tarp there for the water to drip off. And in the bright moonlight, everything else pitch black, I'm not too embarrassed to admit that I squeaked a little bit when I saw it and didn't know what it was. Flapping in the breeze, but anyway. Would you just look at that? Take a look at that. Exact height. It's not the exact height I wanted it, but it'll do. It'll do. Put some ultra black RTV on there. Been on there for an hour or so and it hadn't TV'd at all. It's not exactly room temperature out here though, so I kind of can't blame it. I mean, I like to keep my rooms cool, but not this cool. It has warmed up a bit. Couldn't tell you how much, but I'm bored. I'm tired of waiting. I want to build a fire and I want to eat. So I'm going to finagle that into that and hopefully not smear my ultra black too much. If I wanted to get really funky with it, I'd put a level across it. I might put a level across it. That is it for this installment of John's Junk. Yeah, I'll show you what all I did. It's got a spot for that. It's my little lodge, cast iron. It needs cleaning. I can light that right on the table and it doesn't care. Made a nice cutout. Less than perfect. I got my steak. I'm gonna grill that. I'm gonna eat it for my dinner. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. I'm gonna point something out here. Ooh, hang on a second, you're dirty. These guys are done. And by done, I mean done. 122 degrees internal. But they look disgusting. I don't want to eat that. So, got my nice smoky fire here. And I'm going to put these on there. First couple minutes and we'll be back. Alright, these guys just put a couple minutes on the grill at 400 something degrees. Get the lid off the grill, letting it heat back up. Get the fire build back to full intensity. And then I'm going to slap them back on there after they rest for a couple minutes, which has been resting a couple minutes already. Got a little bit more wood on there. Cooking my potatoes too much. So I'm going to take these guys. I'm going to take the fat boy first. Put him on there. Take the not so fat guy. Put him on there. I'm going to leave those for a couple minutes. And repeat. Of course, you know, you can't have a steak without a potato. So I got the butter, got the 3 cheese blend here. A little extra of that, because why not? The obligatory bacon. Need some more of that. Bacon. Ham. Let's have some more ham. Some fell off my potato. It's got to be on the potato. Not next to. It needs to be on the potato. Let's have some more ham. For potatoes, I like the kind of sour cream that goes. Should be plenty. On top of that, we got to have the obligatory chives. How about some more chives? about a little bit more ham and bacon and whatever else is on the cutting board. There we go. These guys think you weren't going to get a money shot? What the heck? Once that sets for a couple of minutes in its own juices, that's going to be fab. Did you think I was going to leave you without a money shot? No way. Thanks for watching. See ya. My hole's not perfectly round.